Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got quite a nice rack. It's not a bingo-y rack, but I've got the Z, which is a good scoring tile, and I've got another scoring tile in the Y. So I can see I have Yiti on my rack, and also Zeit and Zitty, so I should have a range of options available. Right, so opponent plays dating for 20. I don't think there are any 8s with this rack, so I have Yiti underneath dating. Doesn't quite fit above. However, Zitty works in that spot. And I could also play Zeit. And I think I will. So Zeit for 32. TI takes nothing in front, so this isn't massively dangerous. ZA takes nothing in front either. Can I do better? I do have Zeitai through the T of dating for 33 points, keeping TWEEY, which might be worth doing. Also Tiz. I have Ditsy for 36, but that leaves all vowels. I'm going with this. Well, again, slightly too many vowels. I have the egoity. What else do I have? Zeit has blocked the board up for both my opponent and for me. Do I have anything through ZA? I don't think so. So I'm not seeing a bunch of options at the moment. My G can go underneath ZA, but I've got nothing which goes under IT, so I'm going to struggle to balance the vowels and consonants. Just the one scoring tile in the Y, but there's nowhere I can see which is particularly good for that. So opponent plays dilute. Dilute takes an E at the end of the tiles that I've got. I've got Toyo on my rack, which doesn't play. My Y can go in front of the U, but then I'm not going to be able to get rid of an O, and I think I do need to. So what about playing Yogi? Opponent has opened the board up with dilute, so that makes it less dangerous to open it up further. So I've got Yogi for 18. Great, that looks pretty bingo-y. What do I have? I've got the Asian ending. Can't see anything through the I. I think with 4 vowels I'm primarily looking at the consonants for a bingo. So what about T and L? Wow, opponents blocked those and scored well. So I trail by 19. Wow, how annoying, because this is a nice looking rack. Do I have a 7? If I do, it may go. Yogin is good. Big miss if I am overlooking a 7. Now, do I have notitia? I do. A few. Very nearly missed that. 5 vowel 8s are really tricky to spot. But I have notitia, which also plays higher up, but I think this is a better placement. Wow. Well, the Z's gone, so this E next to the triple letter square not as bad as it otherwise would be. Notitia for 66. Fantastic. I should be on the way to back-to-back bingos. I've drawn the first blank, and I have Spanner and Hawes. Notitia takes nothing after it. Yen takes an E and an S in front, so I have Panas in row E. So I am certainly bingoing. The task open to me is to find the best bingo, which is a nice position to be in. I've got 16 minutes on my clock. Column 12 is available for a massive overlap because of yogin and yogis, but yogin more likely because there'll be vowels next to the two T's. So what do I have with the blank as a vowel? Panas with it as an A, pennas with the blank as an E, pinners and spinner. Not seeing anything with an O. Well, that's been scuppered somewhat. However, new opportunities arise. Although two consonants and my shortage of vowels means I almost certainly don't have a big overlap. And AWS isn't good. So I may have to go back to row E for my bingo. I think that's the only lane which will get my play doubled. So which of my bingos doesn't take an S front hook? Pennas. Just wondering about punners. I think I might try that. The U less useful for my opponent. Punners for 73. Wow. Well, I'm not going to be playing a third back-to-back bingo. This is fairly horrendous. However, I can sort it out to a pretty large extent by playing juvie or juve. And that plays because or is good. But it doesn't play anywhere else. Great, that spot remains available. Von not good, otherwise it would play in row C. Do I have anything better than juvie? Not seeing anything. So juvie for 27. Jew is good. Wow. And I'm missing a big score. And PUH is good. But PEJ not. I think I'm going with this. Pulvar's not good. It's pulvers. So I don't think I have a 7 with this rack. Maybe an 8. I lead by 90. Still one blank to come. No vowels on the board to play through for a bingo. I'd like to get rid of the V and the U in one go. The rest of the rack is pretty bingo-y, so a play of love would do that. Wow, good score for my opponent. I could play Voln, but that's for a very low score. I could play Love and Lou. V not particularly dangerous. Love and Lee. Well, I have quite a nice spot up here because the V takes nothing in front of it, so I'm not opening up row A. I'm scoring 23 points. Lion takes an E and... sorry, takes nothing in front, so I'm not even opening up row... I'm not even opening up the top left triple word score. I'm doing this, and look at that. What a perfect reward for that play. Not that it was particularly amazing, but it's just a good draw. So I'll certainly be bingoing this turn. So where are the good bingo lanes? Well, row M is available. Wank takes an S and a Y at the end. But do I get a play which is doubled and which doesn't open up column 15? So a play ending ESS would do the job. Can't see such a play. I have Asperse. Yeah, which stops 2 short of column 15, so that's halfway decent. 13 minutes on opponent's clock, 14 on mine. Opponent not provided anything new. However, a row N play, even though it opened up row O, might score enough to justify playing. So I have Pessary. Let me see what this scores. That's 93, that's huge, and the blank is above the triple word square, and it's not a vowel, so I think this is the play. Wow, well that's a pretty good pickup for 7 random tiles. Close to a bingo. There could be a 7 here. Nothing's come to mind, but if I just played off Y and E, or even just Y, the rest of the rack is pretty strong. However, fairly limited bingo lanes on this board. I'm expecting opponent to take out row O, and that leaves a very restricted row M and the bottom of column 14 and the floating N of Notitii. And I'm not seeing anything through that with this rack. I haven't identified any candidate plays so far. Dating has the front extension of out, which I just mentioned for reference. Nice score by opponent, 42, but not the most dangerous score. Now Wank takes a Y, so what about playing just YE? 25 points, half decent score, very decent rack leave. The trouble with YE is that I'm pretty much taking out bingo lanes. However, it does take a lot of post hook, so column 14 would still be available. I'm just thinking about playing Yen because there are no S's left. I've got an S, and Yen doesn't take any other hooks at the end, and Isis is pretty good, and Isis goes pretty well with the N of Notitii. So this might spook my opponent, encourage him to do a little 3-letter play underneath for very little score. Am I completely confident it doesn't take anything after it? Yes, I am. I'm going with this. Well, I have chicanes, but that doesn't quite fit in row C, and I don't think chicanes has any anagrams. And I'm not seeing any 7s with this rack. However, I've got a good lead, 120 points, and there are only 12 tiles in the bag. Opponent may open the board up some more. He is behind, but I'm not sure that would massively help me. The double C really hampers the bingoiness of this rack. Chicanes doesn't play at the bottom of column 14 either. I could play Chasers, CHACES, And I think I will. That's a 50 odd point play. So it's just mildly sub bingo territory in terms of score. And would totally secure the win. But I think my play is going to attract opponent's attention. He could just play across from the eye. But we'll just have to wait and see. Now I note last turn that I could have placed my Y in front of EA for about the same score, but it would have left column 14 untrammelled. So what else am I missing? This O of Notitii, quite hot for plays in column 12, but opponent needs bingos to catch me. Well, he's left yen alone, so this is what I was thinking of, chases for 49, cashes also in the same spot, which I think I'll do. To stop putting a vowel next to the triple letter square. Cashes for 49. 4 tiles in the bag. Rack pretty poor. I was hoping for an A to make Taj. I do have boob in column 12, which will score quite well. I don't think the B is particularly dangerous in row A. What else do I have? Not really seeing anything fantastic. No bingo lanes left on the board apart from the floating N of Notitii. And that doesn't work for me. And I don't think any floater would work for me. Not seen anything other than boob, and that spot's been taken. 2 tiles in the bag. Just checking to see if this triple letter square was of use for my opponent, and it's not. Taj takes nothing after it, so suddenly the board really tightening up. Notitii taking nothing after it. Caches has stopped me. Caches as opposed to chases has stopped me putting my B in that spot. However, had I have done so, had I have played chases, I think opponent may have put his F there. Do I have anything which goes after Tsar? I don't. So I think maybe just play Brook. 14 points, balanced rack, not providing anything. I have fibre. I don't think there's anywhere for it. And brief. But this board is looking really choked. Opponent's player Far has taken out N as a floater because nothing goes in front of FA. So I can't even see anywhere for 5 tiles to go down, let alone the 5 tiles that I want in a particular order. I guess there are 5 squares under the P, so if my I was an A, I would have prefab. So opponent plays Gid for 18, a good score. And he's got ELOU. He may struggle to go out in one. Gid takes nothing in front. So what can I do with fibre? really struggling to see anything, even for a subset of these tiles. Fin is good, but nothing goes in front of G that I've got. None of my tiles go in front of EA. Wow, this is one of the most choked up boards I can recall seeing. And, well, maybe it's going to be a challenge even to go out in 2. Refit is good for 16. Do I have a spot for Brie? Don't think I do. I'm just wondering about Jaiba, because then, okay, that leaves me with FR. 8 minutes on my clock, 8 minutes to twist and turn to try and find a way of going out in 2. The game is won, I've got a good lead. But I feel there should be a way of going out in 2 with this rack. So what if I do Jaiba? Is there anywhere to go out with just FR? Don't think there is. But I do have two spots for the F, refit and fin. Let me just pause. This is quite tantalizing. I feel there must be something quite a bit better than I'm currently seeing. So I have FE, which would leave rib. Let me see what this scores. That's 19 points. Opponent can only play off 2 tiles. Is there anywhere for me to go out with BRI? BIRR, so there is. I'm going with this. BIRR may be blocked, but I'm just taking the chance that it won't be. It's not an obvious place, and one can't carry on looking forever. What happened then? Oh wow, pool, good spot for my opponent. Okay, and the final score, 319 for my opponent, 441 to me, a winning margin of 122 points, so a huge win. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. He played dating, and I played Zeit. Not in that position, but for a similar score, so I'm happy with that. Opponent plays Dilute. Goatee for 42. Wow. Yeah, nice play. And Gyoza for 36, also quite nice. I'd play Yogi for 18, which is significantly inferior. Opponent plays Hor. Could have got 57 for Haniwa. Running down the side of Dilute. Very hard to see. Now this was my rack, and the only bingos were Notitii in different spots in that column. Opponent plays Wank, and now I have this fantastic rack with a ton of bingos, and I go with punners for 73. I-10. Spanner available for 10 more points, but sticking an R in the middle of row O. Although 10 points is a lot, that's quite a volatile thing to do, so I'm happy with my lower scoring play, especially against a much weaker opponent who's only chance of winning might be to get lucky. Opponent's rack plays Moor. Now I play Juvie for 27. Could have got 46 by playing JEU with a horrendous rack leave. How does IPUV compare to PU? Is it 19 points worse? It's not, but I think it's at least 10. And J is providing an easy scoring spot in row O, so I like my play. Opponent's rack plays Cade for 43, could have got 57 by playing where? I3. How does that work? Oh, it's Caddy, not Cade. QADI running down the side there. My rack, and I play Love for 23. Yeah, down the bottom there, and I like that. Spar is a good 4-letter set. Opponent plays Dell, and now I have a ton of bingos with Pessary scoring most. Opponent plays Oxter, and Yen is being suggested in column 10. I played it in row M in order to set up column 15 for my S, so I still like my play. Wow! Opponent has Domanial through the N of Notitia. Very difficult to see. Plays Mar. And now I play Caches, and I could have played Chicas retaining the E rather than the I. A small advantage, I think. Opponent's rack plays Far. And now this is where I hit heavy weather and chose in the end to play Brook. Opponent has Gid. Now I've got a big lead, and it's just a matter of maximising what I achieve with this rack. I hadn't spotted opponent had Pool. He may have other outs. So, whoops, FE N13, that was my play. Let me click Examiner, tell Examiner 1 best to see if it can find something better. Well, it can't, so maybe opponent does have a second out. I play FE. No further out for opponent, so interesting that blocking Pool wasn't a better play than FE. And that was the end of the game, so pretty exciting stuff. Good to have back-to-back bingos in the middle of that, which gave me a big lead that I never looked in much doubt of losing. So a fairly comfortable win in the end, and it's always good to have wins like that. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.